Hello and welcome to Thyros Web Development Tips and Tutorials. Here is a starter template with Tailwind CSS installed as a PostCSS plugin with no other frameworks like Vue or React or Laravel. In this video, I give you a demonstration of how to clone this and get started with this template and walk you through the file structure so that you get familiar with it and you can modify something if you need to. The link to this repository is mentioned in the description below. But before we begin, you need to have Git and Npm installed. I'm assuming you have both of them and that you at least have a very basic understanding of the two. So first, let's copy the link to clone this repository and let me open terminal. I would like to cd into the desktop folder and let me clone this repository with git clone, paste the link that you just copied and call it Tailwind new. This creates a new folder for us. It's done. cd Tailwind new. Let's open this in Visual Studio Code. So I type code space dot. We have this open. Let me open a new terminal here. And the first thing you need to do is npm install. So if you look into the package.json file, we have Tailwind CSS, PostCSS, CLI, and autoprefixer. All three are required. And we have this on change as a dev dependency. So let me do npm install. That will help us install all of these. This is done. You should actually see a node modules folder here. If you don't, you can reload the window. So yes, now you see the node modules folder. Everything is installed. Next, we have a public folder within which is the index.html. So you can add as many HTML files and other folders within which you can have your web pages that use Tailwind CSS. And here is a distribution folder within which is the styles.css. If you notice, this is currently empty. I'll come back to this. This is the style sheet that's linked to the index.html, and you can link this to all other web pages as well. Here is the source folder within which is the custom style sheet that has the Tailwind directives. And you can also add any other custom CSS that you would like to use along with Tailwind CSS. And here in the package.json file, we have some scripts. So let me help you understand what this is. The first one is build script. So whenever you say npm run build, what happens is it uses PostCSS to convert the styles.css that you saw in the source folder with all the Tailwind styles plus your custom styles, and it outputs it into the public folder distribution styles.css. So we get a style sheet that's generated using Tailwind. If you look at the PostCSS.config.js, it uses Tailwind CSS and autoprefixer. So all this is taken care of. You don't have to really think about it. And here is the tailwind.config.js. So if you want to customize Tailwind, add any other plugins, you can do it here. So let me first do npm run build. And now if you look into the styles.css, it has some content, right? It has a lot of content, in fact. So now when we open this index.html in our browser, let me open with live server. You will see a beautiful gradient. So Tailwind CSS is successfully installed and set up. So that's it. You can really edit whatever else you want here. You can add a paragraph. You can say use font bold and say text blue 500 and say this is blue. Save it, and you will notice that the paragraph is styled using Tailwind CSS. Now, in case you make some changes to tailwind.config.js, Or if you add some custom CSS, then you'll have to build this again because you're making changes and this styles.css has to be built again. For the same reason, I also have a watch script. So whenever you change, I have this package on change. Whenever you change tailwind.config.js or any of the HTML files or your custom CSS, then it automatically executes this command npm run build. So you don't have to manually do it. Let me show you. So while you're building, just type npm run watch and leave this. Whenever you make any changes, it will build automatically for you. Now, one last thing, if you notice the styles.css here, and let's reveal this in Finder and look at the size of this file. This is 3.9 MB, which is a lot for just a couple of utilities that we have used. So this is okay for development, but just before you push your code to production, you will have to do npm run prod. So if you go into the package.json file, you will notice that we have set the environment to production and the same command does the job for us. So Tailwind CSS takes care to purge all the unused styles in production and gives you a very, very small style sheet. And for this, what we have done is in the tailwind.config.js, we have added the path to all the HTML files wherever we have used the Tailwind classes so that Tailwind can remove all the unused ones. Alright, so if you generate tailwind.config.js manually, you will not see this line. Everything else remains, but this is an additional line added. So npm run prod, hit enter. Now let's look at this info and you will see it's just 12 KB on disk now. So just before pushing to production, make sure you do npm run prod. Alright, so this is about the file structure. Hope you're clear with it now. You don't have to take the pain of installing Tailwind CSS, configuring it. Everything is ready in the starter template. So just clone it, do npm install and npm run build, npm run watch, npm run prod. That's it. Good luck. Thank you for watching. Hit a like and share this video ahead. If you enjoyed watching this, don't forget to subscribe below and turn on the notifications so you won't miss a single video from Tyrus.